right, welcome to this week's episode of Luv Subbin, and this week finds us in
North Carolina,
in Asheville. You know, a lot of people ask how we plan our trips, and we've said it before that occasionally we'll put a stick in the sand and say we want to see this,
right?
And then we organize our trip around it. So, what's our stick in the sand today?
We're doing a foraging tour, and I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, we'll describe the tour a little bit.
Well, they're going to start at 9:30.
Yep.
And they're going to lead us around and show us some different plants and things that we can pick and eat. So
supposedly there'll be 30 edible plants that we can pick. And then at the end of the thing, we get to keep anything we can find and do one of two things. What are those two things?
Well, we could either take all our stuff into a restaurant and they will make an appetizer from it, or we can take it back to the Airstream and make our own dinner.
And what do you think we're going to do?
We're going to try making our own dinner.
Absolutely. So yeah, Asheville, North Carolina. That is kind of the, I'd say kind of the focus of this spring trip was to hit this foraging tour.
For sure.
From here, it's going to be kind of a few more trips and then making our way back up north.
Right.
So, all right, so let's get into this episode.
Should be fun.
So what'd you get here, see?
These are little yellow flowers, and they are related to kale and broccoli and stuff like that. So they say that this is edible, and it sort of tastes like kale but with a bitter finish.
Kind of had some mustard, four
Same
petals.
Same family as mustard, that sort of thing. So we're going to be looking for this as well.
We're going to try some of this stuff.
You guys like that?
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
That's pretty good.
Hold the flower
Does
up.
taste a little bit like broccoli, kind of kale-ish type thing. Sweet.
You gonna try that one, see?
What is it called?
This is called violet. Now violets are very high in vitamin C.
That's good. So these are a patch of wild ramps. They're sort of like a wild onion. So you can use them for anything that you would use an onion for. And I've had those at the farmer's market. So we've been let loose on this little ridge here just to look for anything that's interesting. They say that there might be some morel mushrooms here, and they gave us a little bag. They gave us a brush and a knife and a little knife to dig with as well. So we're just gonna wander around for about a half an hour and just see what we can find. Should be fun.
And there we see Cindy getting inspected, all of her forage stuff, make sure it's good.
Holy crap, this is like my worst nightmare. I wasn't paying attention and now there's a test at the end of this. Hopefully Cindy was paying attention.
Right. The first thing I'm seeing is dead nettle.
Dead nettle. So this is a gluten-free cracker with the stinging nettles and a little bit of sauteed morel and topped with a little white violet. So let's give it a try.
And one for each of us.
Aww.
That's good. The nettles taste like spinach. They're very close to it. So the name of the tour was No Taste Like Home, and it was a 3-hour tour where they just walk you around this property showing you the different things that were edible. And when you're done, they bag everything up. They make sure you didn't get anything that was bad, and they check everything and they bag it up, and you can bring it with you, or you can have an option of taking it to a restaurant and having them cook it up for you.
And we had one members of our group do that, right? They had all the stuff bagged and ready for the restaurant.
Exactly. So we're going to take this back to the Airstream, and we're going to use this for one part of our dinner tonight.
Let's head off to Asheville and see what we can find there.
Yep. So far, everything is spot on. Excellent. I'm starving. Walking around in the woods will do that for you. Excellent.
Want to try that sandwich? I know you want to. You have the pulled pork sandwich.
I have the pulled pork sandwich. Let's see if I can sort of dip it in there. The mustard sauce is very interesting. It's sort of like a mustard vinegar mix. It's very, very good.
So at some point we're going to get to our full-blown Carolina barbecue tour where we compare North Carolina and South Carolina. We've been meaning to do that for a long time, but the schedules haven't worked out. So when in North Carolina, we're going to get the barbecue in that we can. So let's go ahead.
This place was rated #1 on TripAdvisor for Asheville.
Start with our side.
Your side is a mac and cheese. How is it?
Excellent. I kind of harken back to the burnt end days in St. Louis. They had mac and cheese. So I'll try a hush puppy in my traditional sauce.
Those were good hush puppies. And what kind of sandwich did you end up with? Brisket, right?
I got the pulled chili rub beef brisket. Interesting, it's on toast. But the brisket's great, the sauce is excellent. I think we've started our Carolina meals off pretty good. So how was that, C?
Oh my goodness, that was so good.
Yeah, after a morning of eating small bites of plants, coming to a big smoking pig barbecue place was jackpot.
Perfect, and then I had a cider that was local and it was so good.
Yeah, this was a good spot. Luella's in North Asheville.
Highly recommend it.
Very, very good.
So it was a quick drive through Asheville, but somehow we ended up at a big time farmer's market.
Which would be awesome to find some veg and stuff for dinner. And if you're like, okay, they're in Asheville, we're gonna wait for that Biltmore estate tour. You know.
A little expensive.
Yeah, it was between $86 and $130 per person to tour the Biltmore estate. And early retirement has its advantages, but that ain't one of them.
No, we can't afford that, so we're gonna do this instead.
I think it was $20 to see Neuschwanstein, so we were pretty good with 86 pass, hard pass on the Biltmore. So let's check out this vegetable market.
So what did you find?
Yeah, so I was looking for something to drink, and I thought of an RC Cola because that kind of gets some southern vibe to it. But then I saw this Cheerwine, and I asked the gentleman what it was, and he said it was started in 1917, making it one of the oldest colas around, and it's from Salisbury, North Carolina, and it's a cherry fizzy soda. So let's go ahead and try it. Oh, that's really good. It's really good because it looks red, so you think you're going to get this cherry bomb, and you don't. It's a good cola with just a little bit of a kind of cherry side flavor. So I think this is delicious. So it's going to hit the spot. And it's been made since 1917.
Nice.
So we're staying at the KOA Asheville East. Ooh, train bonus. And you've heard my basic review of KOAs before, and they're the Applebee's of the fine dining world. I mean, you're never going to have a bad experience. You're never going to have the most memorable experience of your life. They're engineered just to be good campgrounds. But I would say this one here is actually
better than most.
I think it's better than most. And Lake Powhatan is where we wanted to stay, but they didn't have any electric sites, and because it was dropping into the 30s at night, we wanted to use our electric blanket, so we chose this one. It's about $55 a night.
Pause for baby duckies.
We have baby duckies.
Right.
But as you can see, as Cindy was showing, the sites back right up. These are the 30, 50 amp water and electric sites. They have a variety of sites from 15, 30 amp water and electric all the way up to full hookup sites, etc. But this one you can see is pretty nice, just backed right up to the lake like that. You do get some road noise from US 70 in the background, and of course the occasional train, but that's very rare. See the train. Nice clean fire pit. Picnic table out of the way.
And the sites seem pretty wide spaced.
Yeah, you're not literally on top of one another, which is nice. You can see it wasn't entirely level. It's a 2-blocker, but still no big deal. Nice gravel surface here. Let's go ahead and look at the services. You know, just standard water service here. And This is one of those sites where I usually use an autoformer, but the pedestal is too high for the cord for the autoformer to reach all the way up. So that's why I also carry a Hughes Power Watchdog. So that when the pedestal is really high like this versus much lower, I can still have my surge protection. The Power Watchdog differs from the autoformer in that the autoformer boosts voltage 2% all the time and 10% when voltage at the pedestal hits 108. This doesn't do that, but this also connects to Bluetooth, and you can check your power requirements, how much power you're using, everything with Bluetooth on the Power Watchdog, which you can't do on the autoformer.
And you see we've got it secured.
Yep. I just do that. Actually, Hughes was nice. After I did my Hughes autoformer video, I got an email a couple weeks later from Hughes, and I'm like, uh-oh, that's a cease and desist order.
Take that video down.
Yeah, take the video down immediately. But they were so happy with its accuracy, so happy with its accurate explanation that it doesn't steal power.
And it was very well done, simplistic
If they asked to put it
explanation.
on their website, and if they could put it on their website, they were going to send me a new autoformer and a Power Watchdog. So I wouldn't normally carry both of them at the same time.
But it's nice to have both of them.
But it is nice to have both of them. And at some point, once I find a campground that's boosting, I'll do a comparison between the two. But I'm a big fan of the Hughes autoformer, even before they sent us some product. Because Cindy's parents use the autoformer long before any of that stuff. And I did the video before they did any of that stuff. So kudos to Hughes, though, for thanking me for that.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, I'd say if you're looking for Asheville and you're looking for a full hookup kind of campground experience, I can't say anything bad about the Asheville KOA. The people were super polite. Got some propane, $17 for 20 pound or 20 gallon.
They have laundry facilities.
20 pound. Yep, we did some laundry.
And their Wi-Fi is reasonable.
I would say the Wi-Fi is reasonable. It wasn't reasonable enough to upload a video, but it's reasonable enough for anything else.
So slightly on the pricey side, but it is
All
what it is.
KOAs are going to be like that. You're not going to find a bargain KOA, I think.
That is true.
All right, that's the campground review for Asheville, North Carolina. We're off tomorrow to Macon, Georgia.
So we're going to start cooking up our foraging finds. Since I couldn't find any morels in the woods, some people found them. They got lucky. I didn't find any. I bought some dried.
Oh, man.
At the grocery store.
I thought you said you were going to find some packaged morels under a tree, and it was really cool.
Right. But anyway, I'm going to rehydrate a couple of these.
And the advantage with rehydrating, though, is you get some morel juice that you can use for the cooking, right?
Correct. And I also purchased, since we weren't allowed to harvest any of the ramps there because they were trying to plant a new bed of them, I bought some ramps at the farmer's market.
The Western North Carolina Farmers Market?
Correct.
Where I got my soda.
And here are the greens after being thoroughly washed. And in hindsight, these are ones called the purple pagoda. They can sort of look at them, and they sort of look like a little pagoda thing. And when I tried them on the tour, it tasted like dirt. And when I smell them, they don't smell too great. And the tour guide did say that they were an acquired taste. So
dirt usually is an acquired taste.
I'm gonna pass on these.
Okay, yeah.
So
thanks.
And we're gonna get started.
All right, let's do it.
So you can see our morels are rehydrated, which is interesting because one of the features of a morel mushroom is they're completely hollow inside. So I'm just going to chop these up. I'm going to reserve the liquid for the rice and maybe some other uses. I haven't actually figured out this dish yet, so it's a work in progress. These are the nettle leaves and some of the violet leaves because we picked some white violet. This is the ramps chopped up. We got them at the farmer's market. And then our edible flowers, which is the brassica, the violet, and the red buds. So it should be interesting. So my first step is to saute some of the ramps in a little bit of butter, and I'm going to put that into the rice mixture. This is the reason why I'm getting a diffuser, because we're on the lowest setting possible, and that is just way too hot. So I'll show you the diffuser once I get it in, but I think that'll really help things out.
Yeah, we'll do a little Luv Subbin short film series on the diffuser, And maybe we'll even use science. We'll use our infrared thermometer to measure the temperature difference.
Anyway, letting that go to it gets soft, and then we're gonna add the rice, and we're gonna mix that in. And just let the rice brown just a little bit, and then we're gonna add the morel liquid back to it with some salt and pepper. And I also added a little bit of white wine to the mixture as well.
It's always good to be cooking with wine, right?
Absolutely. The dish turned out an A in visual appeal, but from the taste standpoint, a solid B-.
Join us next week as we travel to Macon, Georgia, and encounter one of the most unusual water hookups we've ever seen.
We also visit the Museum of Aviation, where Rich gets to act out his Top Gun fantasies.
So if you like this video,
Give us a big thumbs up,
and if you think we've earned a subscription, click to subscribe.
and comment below if you've been to Asheville, North Carolina, and what your favorite sight to see was.
Because we come out with RV and Airstream related videos every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.